Hi, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm trying to explain infinite consciousness and trying to put it in concepts so it's easier to understand. Of course, all concepts and all understanding really is limited and therefore um, partial and wrong, but it can be useful if you're not aware of the real thing. So I'll try my best to explain it in this video. First of all, let's make it clear that only thing that exists is consciousness. There is nothing outside of consciousness, and consciousness, everything is made out of consciousness, is perceived by the consciousness, and it's created by the consciousness. People think that consciousness is just a property that they possess, like a rock is conscious and then this human being is not conscious. But the truth is that everything is conscious and everything is made out of consciousness. But human beings are just aware that they're conscious, and they're aware that of their consciousness, of the consciousness, where rocks aren't. Consciousness is unlimited, so it's outside of time, it's outside of physicality, what we perceive as physical stuff. It's outside of space, and it's outside of everything. Basically, it has no limitations. So consciousness is your true nature, and you can be and enlightenment is basically realizing your true nature as this consciousness which is unlimited. So you stop identifying with this human body, and you realize that you're not just this human body, but you are everything which is, everything that exists. And there is a great analogy about consciousness and humans which are limited. So imagine a piece of paper which is a blank, empty piece of paper, and then you can draw anything on it, and maybe you draw a human, and notice that that human is not outside of this paper. This human is literally made out of this paper, and another human which we can draw on this paper is made out of the same material as this other human. So they are the same thing. From the limited perspective of this one human which is drawn on the paper, it may seem like they are two separate things, but ultimately, if we zoom out, we can see that it's the same paper, just pretending to be different people. And the same is with consciousness. Consciousness is that which makes everything else, and you as this human being have a feeling of separate identity or the ego, which makes you think that you are not consciousness, that you are this limited mind, and that everyone else and everything else is somehow outside of you. And from that then comes every problem, basically, because if something doesn't fit this character that you're playing, if something happens that hurts the ego, then you suffer because you identify with this ego. There is this emotion of ego, ego as an emotion. You can feel like I'm this human being, and then that dictates every other thought that comes up and every other action you have, and therefore everything that you do, really. And realize that if you're doing everything from this place of scarcity and separateness, um, from this feeling of being separate from the others, and from the feeling that you need to get something for yourself, that you lack something, then of course you're going to suffer, and you're going to go through difficult times, and you cannot live your life freely. And if you want to live the best life you can live, you need to realize your true nature, so you can start living from that knowing. If you're living from this unity and from love, which is another name for unity, then everything, it spreads into every part of your life. How you relate to others, how you relate to your work, how you relate to everything, really. And by the example we had earlier with the piece of paper, ego can be understood as this imaginary lines we drew in reality. Like, reality doesn't have any lines, and it's not dual, it is non-dual. So yeah, I really like this analogy with a piece of paper, but do realize that it's just a concept, and you can take it seriously in a way, but also don't take it seriously. As I always say, it's a map, not the territory. Like, you are aware of consciousness right here, so you don't need to listen to my concepts about reality if you have this reality here. The only reason I'm telling you this is because you're not aware of the reality which is here, and the emotions and the ego is clouding your vision. You can't see clearly what is in front of you if the ego is in the way, and if ego is trying to cloud, like I said, what you see. And to see through the ego, some form of meditation is necessary. Well, it doesn't need to be like you can have an enlightenment experience, and like right now you can you don't need to meditate or anything, but you don't have anything out of the experiences don't bring you anything. Like, they're all temporary. No experience is can fulfill you or bring you happiness or anything. So yeah, don't chasing experiences is probably not the best idea. So meditation might be the better option, so you can be aware of the consciousness without the ego all the time, not just by this enlightenment experience. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss other videos that I'll be posting in the future. And see you in the next one. Bye.